from the California Highway Patrol Border Division arrested Raimundo Duran, a 47-year-old Hispanic male, on suspicion of drunk driving and weapons possession charge. He was booked into the San Diego County Sheriff's Jail. Raimundo Duran was detained by the officers of the CHP San Onofre Inspection Facility in San Diego County. During their investigation, the California Highway Patrol officers retrieved a firearm from Raimundo Duran's vehicle. He was discovered parked at a location in a 2008 silver Toyota Camry 4-door. Homicide detectives responded to San Diego County Sheriff's Jail and interviewed Raimundo. Based on statements obtained from Raimundo Duran, surveillance footage retrieved from the shooting scene in the city of West Covina, witness statements obtained by homicide detectives, and the firearm recovered by the California Highway Patrol officers, our detectives strongly believe that Raimundo Duran is the suspect involved in the shooting of our deputy in the city of West Covina. There is no evidence at this time that suggests that there are additional suspects outstanding or that may have been engaged in the shooting of our deputy. As you see, I'm surrounded by a lot of folks. So I do want to start off by thanking, bear with me, because this was a very urgent matter to us when this occurred. You saw our pleas for the community's assistance to come forward, and a lot of that did happen. So I do want to thank the tenacious work of our homicide detectives who are still working on this case from the minute it occurred. Our body-worn unit camera, who usually responds out to scenes to canvas for video. As you know, a lot of things are on video in this day and age. Our Fraud and Cyber Crimes Bureau, and our deputies from the San Dimas Station, our Century Station, Industry Station, and South Los Angeles Sheriff Station. I also want to take a moment to thank the West Covina Police Department, and their chief is here with us, and I spoke to him last night. He couldn't have been more helpful, and all the help that they offered us last night. And then I'm flanked by a lot of CHP officers. And I'm not nervous, they're all behind me. Usually we get nervous when they're behind us, right? Especially on the freeway. But they did an amazing job. They took a very dangerous person off the road. And we believe at this time that it is our suspect. I also spoke to Kelly Martinez, who's the sheriff of San Diego County, last night. And they were very helpful in their assistance once this individual was in custody. I do want to mention about the CHP that Sean DeRee, the commissioner of the California Highway Patrol, contacted me this morning. He's like, hey, what can we do? How can we help? So he's been awesome, as well as the entire CHP. I also want to take a quick second to thank the witnesses that came forward immediately when our deputy was shot in the back. I can't say enough about them. They saw what they saw, got out of their cars, went immediately to aid our deputy, communicate with them, and eventually their information became very important to the investigation that our homicide detectives were conducting. So thank you. In our eyes, you're heroes. Not only did you help this deputy, but I have a feeling based on the characters that's been described, you do this for anybody who needed help out on the street. At the end of the day, I'm very happy that this person is in custody, but I'm even more thankful that Deputy Aspuro is doing well and he's recovering at home. I made several statements last night and talked about the fact that he was wearing his vest, his bulletproof vest, and we believe it saved his life. The situation could have ended so tragically, and even though this was not a good incident, I think the outcome is a lot better than we would have liked with his safety. And it does remind us for our community out there how dangerous the job is in law enforcement. I think we take it for granted. These men and women put on a uniform, a badge 24/7, 7 days a week, and they go out there. There's gunfire, they run to it, they don't run away from it. And under these circumstances, I'm so proud to be part of this profession. So what I will do is I'll go on to the next phase. I'll take any questions that you may have. But please keep in mind that, yes, there are a lot of details in how our detectives worked with the other agencies to make this arrest. But a lot of the detailed information will be given in court. And we plan on doing everything we can to make sure that this individual gets prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And with that, I will open it up to any questions.
Based on those witnesses you just thanked, can you share a little bit more about the circumstances that led up to the shooting? How did the suspect allegedly approach? What were the circumstances surrounding that shooting?
All excellent questions, and those are all details that we're still in the process of making sure that we're getting them from one place, corroborating it with video, and at the end of the day, all this information will be provided to the district attorney's office when they are considering for filing for this case. So at that time, all that information will come out.
Can you share more about Mr. Duran's background?
I can tell you this, that he has a very extensive criminal history, a very violent criminal history, and that will be part of us, the consideration we're hoping that when we file this case, because at the end of the day, this man was armed with a firearm. He had no business having a firearm in his possession with his criminal history.
Sheriff, can you detail that criminal history just a little bit for us, please, and give us some maybe examples of things from his past?
I'm not going to get into specific details at this time, but I could tell you by bulleted points, it took up over half the page. And a lot of the acts were violent. And I'm going to leave it at that for now, but more information will come out about that. But it's very concerning and troubling.
Do we have a sense that this was a targeted attack at the deputy, random? What can you tell us about that? I mean, we covered Compton, we covered Lancaster, and those were, scary things. So can you give us a little bit more about the possibility? Did you target the deputy for a particular reason? Did you just drive by him? What can you share with us on that?
At this point, all very good questions. Are we concerned? Am I concerned? I'm very concerned. Because you just picked up on the fact that we lost another deputy up in Palmdale late last year, Ryan Klinkenbrummer, who was sitting at a red light, and he was ambushed, shot from the back. Very troubling. This has some similarities. Obviously, we're very fortunate in that Sam survived. We will dig into that a lot more. We want to know, not only for our agency, but all the agencies here represented, because we should all be very concerned that any individual will roll up either on the side or behind a uniformed police officer in a marked vehicle, whether it's a motorcycle or car, and shoot one of us anywhere, specifically in the back. I'm going to take a pause on the questions and I'll come back. There's a couple of other speakers that we're going to introduce, and they're all important. So I want to make sure they have an opportunity to talk. So I now have the pleasure of introducing Esther Lim, who is the Justice Deputy for Supervisor Hilda Solis.
Thank you so much, Sheriff. Good afternoon. I'm Esther Lim, Senior Justice and Equity Deputy, providing remarks on behalf of Supervisor Hilda Solis, who represents the 1st District, including West Covina, where this incident took place. Yesterday afternoon, we were all shocked to learn of the news that a motor deputy was ambushed and shot in West Covina. This incident could have been a disastrous ending, but luckily the deputy's bulletproof vest protected him from further and serious injury and even death. Deputies from nearby immediately responded and worked to ensure that the motor deputy received prompt medical care and attention. Additionally, investigators began working to gather the necessary evidence and information to identify and find those responsible for this incident. Through a fortunate turn of events, CHP and West Covina PD arrested an individual for an incident and worked collaboratively with the Sheriff's Department and was able to link them to the shooting. The Office of Supervisor Solis is grateful to Sheriff Luna, the entire Sheriff's Department, and CHP and West Covina PD for their work to get justice for this motor deputy and to keep our communities safe from those who wish to do us harm. Our thoughts continue to remain with the deputy and his family as he recovers. Thank you. And at this time, I would like to introduce Kyla Coates, Justice Deputy for Supervisor Hahn, 4th District.
Good afternoon. On behalf of Supervisor Janice Hahn, I would like to commend the Sheriff's Department for acting quickly and making an arrest in this horrific shooting. Thank you to the California Highway Patrol and the West Covina Police Department for their partnership in this action. This is an example of law enforcement entities working together to keep the public safe. And of course, as the sheriff said, thank you so much to all the witnesses who came forward immediately with their information. We know that this was instrumental in identifying the suspect. We are so relieved that Deputy Espero was wearing a bulletproof vest and is expected to make a full recovery. Deputy Espero is a deputy with the Century Station that serves communities in the 4th District. This reminds us of the danger that our sheriff's deputies place themselves in every day while they work to protect our communities. Thank you to everyone who goes out there every day to protect our communities. We appreciate you.
Thank you both for being here and supporting the members of our department and the law enforcement profession. Yes.
Sheriff, is the suspect from here? Is his long criminal history here in Los Angeles? And when CHP pulled him over, did they do that because he was driving drunk, or did they already have this vehicle description, and do they think he was trying to flee to Mexico?
Those are all questions that we're still right in the middle of. We wanted to come out, inform you that an arrest has been made. A lot of the specific details will start coming out as the hours tick by. I don't want to give you erroneous information. I could just tell you that at the end of the day, we believe we have the suspect responsible for the shooting of our deputy in custody.
But is he from here?
From the information I have, yes, from this area in LA County.
Sheriff Luna, could you speak to any gang affiliation given the extensive criminal history?
Yes, he is a gang member. And I will never name the name of a gang up here. Sorry.
Sheriff, are you waiting for ballistics testing to match the gun to the crime scene?
Yes.
Is there any relation between this man and the home yesterday where we saw deputies looking at a van, questioning people? Any relation to that location?
Probably not. What happened yesterday is, if you can imagine, there was a lot of chaos at the intersection, and information started to come out about different vehicles and different license plates. And the deputies that were out there did a really good job. I think some of you have heard the radio traffic of our deputy putting out an emergency broadcast, which I thought he did an amazing job. And in there, a vehicle was described with a license plate, which led us to the location that you're referring to. So there were people that were detained, and an investigation was conducted. And at the end of the day, they were released because we felt that they may not have been involved. But as this investigation goes on, if I learned anything, we've learned anything in this job, there's some twists and turns. So we'll keep all options on the table.
Sheriff, was he out on probation, or when last was he in prison if he has such an extensive history? Do you have that information available today?
I don't have that at this second, but we will have that soon.
Luis Delia Caballero with KCAL. I wanted to ask about the deputy. Can you get more specific about how he's doing now? Any specifics on injuries? And are you planning on releasing a photo of the vest that you believe saved his life?
Thank you for asking about our deputy. Sam, when I left him at the hospital last night, he was in stable condition, so he was released. So physically, he does have some visible injuries, as you would expect when you take a round to your torso, but still protected from the vest. Physically, like I said, thank God he's okay. Mentally, we'll deal with those. This is a significant, it's a physical demanding job, but what people don't always realize, the mental aspect of our job. So we'll continue to support him and then supporting his family through this difficult stage of getting him back to work. In regards to releasing pictures, I haven't thought about that. I don't see why we wouldn't in the near future. That vest saved our deputy's life. So I don't think there's anything wrong with releasing the video, but that will be up to the homicide investigators. As much as I want to share and the excellent questions that are coming up for our community, please make no mistake about this. Our next priority is to get this individual prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And in order to do that, any evidence or any facts will be presented in court so that we are doing that at the right time for that purpose.
Sheriff Luna, could you just clarify though how CHP made the arrest? I mean, was he driving, or was he a drunk driver that they saw and they pulled him over? Can you elaborate on that just a little bit?
He was arrested for drunk driving.
Okay.
If you want to elaborate on any of that, you're welcome to, but we could just leave it at he was arrested for drunk driving.
And then it turned out later that they realized it was the same guy?
Eventually, there was a lot of really good detective work, coordination and communication, and we started to connect all the dots.
Arrested where in San Diego County?
At the San Onofre way station down on off the 5 freeway, in that area. Okay, I think we're good. Thank you guys for covering this story, and appreciate your efforts last night and today. Very instrumental, so thank you for that team.
You've been listening to Sheriff Luna, who released the information that the deputy involved here, Samuel Espuro, has been released from the hospital, but also the arrest of Raimundo Duran, who has an extensive violent criminal history and a known gang member, arrested near the San